Hello, Nicholas here, and here we are again. I am so excited to take you through this. So hopefully you've already watched the session or the sub module on the specific written down version of this posture. So I know it's kind of hard to see. I don't know what the right answer is for getting all of my body in and being close enough and doing all this. So I appreciate you guys and your grace as we navigate all of this new learning together, right? But you guys understand. And then here's Bishop coming to say hi. So, my friends, this posture, as we said before, is Urdhva Hastasana. Urdhva Hastasana. And it is about saluting to the sun. It's opening your heart. It's welcoming in that warmth, but it's also reaching for sky, reaching for whatever it is in your life that you want to achieve, that you want to get to, that you need, that you would like, and also being grateful for all the things that you have. Think about when you want to shout something from the rooftops. That's what I think about when I think of this posture, okay? So, it can mean a lot of different things to a lot of different people. In fact, I would say as many people as there is a feeling or emotion to have about this. So with that being said, really explore, as I suggested in that last posture, or not the last posture, the last video, and try to figure out for yourself what it is to you, what it means to you, and what it can mean to you, all right? So, get into a nice Tadasana, mountain pose. So those pinky toes go as far away from each other as possible. The big toes stay together. Your heels really expand out. You scoop the tailbone a little bit. You stack your spine right over top. Fingertips are reaching for the floor while your head is stretching to the ceiling. Now, without moving any other part of your body, circle those arms up overhead. Stretch up towards the ceiling. Reach. Palms come together. Thumbs cross. I squeeze my glutes just a little bit so that my shoulders come back down, and I continue to reach. As I continue to reach, I look up and I open and expand the rib cage, and I continue that process all the way up. All right, friends, I'm gonna introduce you to my dog. Come here, kiddo. Hey, come say hi. You probably heard his clippity cloppity, and you know it wouldn't be a good video session if the animals didn't visit. So, what I find most interesting about this and things that I want to teach people so that they can take away is that the more you reach down with your heels, right, the more you can reach up with your fingertips. It's the same concept with a tree. So, a deeper the root system that a tree has, the bigger the tree that it can have up top. Trees with tap roots really have those high-reaching apex radicals that really keep growing up and up and up and up and up. And those that have a wider root system will then expand over top. Trust me, I'm a botanist. I know these things. But what's interesting is that that actually applies to yoga as well. So, let's go back to it since we were distracted slightly by my dog. So those big toes together, those heels are touching. Spread that foot out nice and wide. Shift back, stack the spine, reach fingertips down. Notice when I squeeze my glutes, everything relaxed right here. I even saw it from far away on the camera. So without moving anything but your arms, circle the arms up, fill your lungs, right? Your lungs expanding on the inside is actually going to create structure that helps hold your rib cage in place so that more space can be achieved as you reach down through the heels and then subsequently reach up through the arms. So in Bikram, we would take this into a full backward bending or backward reaching, right? So for here, we're just looking to expand and open up, and then we're going to bring our arms back down. Okay, so I'm going to turn sideways and show the same thing. Don't worry about this arm, there's a wall behind me, but you'll get the point, right? I'm going to show you the supination version just to accommodate that, all right? So, nice Tadasana. Arms will come up, they come together, relax the shoulders down, Reach up and reach back. Big full lungs. Let the heart space expand. Eyes are gazing mostly directly up, right? But notice I'm going to push down with my heels and reach again. I'm going to push down and reach again. I'm going to push down and reach again. So I wasn't looking at the camera, but I felt it in my body. And this is what we're looking to do. So you want to have your lungs 80% full, and you want to be breathing through 20% because you still have to have gaseous exchange going on so that you're fueling the activation that's going on in the body. Now, when I do my stuff on Ayurveda again, I'll talk more specifically about prana versus oxygen. For right now, worry about the oxygen. You need oxygen, so you need to keep those lungs exchanging them. You're really exchanging prana, which allows us to use the oxygen, but that's a whole another can of worms. So just breathe, friends, breathe. And I'll even do a whole course on pranayama. So, Urdhva Hastasana. I'm going to keep repeating it. I'm going to teach you all some Sanskrit. I'm going to teach you how to pronounce it correctly because once you learn Sanskrit and you know how it's pronounced and then you hear it pronounced incorrectly, you're like, whoa. So, modifications for Urdhva Hastasana, right? So we talked about specifically in the last video, supination. Supination is that Y, arms with your thumbs up, and then you come up. If you cannot go above your shoulder height, you could have your hands and you could cup your neck and go like so. Now, one reason you would want to do that is that you don't want to get that bunching up in the shoulders, and then the elbows can kind of point and take over the function that your hands do. Right? So wherever attention goes, energy flows, right? So if our attention is in the reaching of our fingertips or our elbows, that's where the expansion, the stretching and the lengthening is going to be focused from. And that's what I'm hoping to do with that. Something else that can be utilized is not even bringing your arms up at all, but rather sliding them around behind, pulling your elbows in nice and tight, and then looking here, right? So this one's a little bit more challenging because it's hard to get the shoulders down, but really it's something you should practice, honestly. So this is what we would call a supported back bend. So you really need to get the heel of the palm up at the top of the pelvic bone, right? And you're gonna basically firmly attach it there. And then you're going to bring those shoulders down by squeezing your glutes. And you're gonna pull it up. And then you're gonna look back and you keep relaxing those elbows. The more you pull the elbows together, the more it's gonna expand your chest, which will give you more breath support, right? As you expand through the intercostals and the supraspinatus and serratus anterior. I also know anatomy. Yay. So, fun fact about me. I took comparative anatomy. So I actually know about anatomy as it compares to bodies that span the spectrum of life on Earth versus just the human body. So I've got a pretty broad knowledge base on that, which actually, as we do these animal poses, helps me out because I know what that anatomy actually is. But that, again, is another thing. So I just get excited about sharing these things for you. And you know what? When I was a TA and I taught biology lab, they'd hardly listen to me. But you guys actually come because you want to, and that's exciting to me. So back to it. We have two different options for modifications. Modifications, remember, are bringing things to a little bit more accessibility in case we have a challenge, an injury, or we're just taking it easy that day. And then progressions are where we make it harder, right? So you can circle the arms up, or you can take them here, right? You can take it behind your neck and start to reach up. If you feel pressure at your spine, right where it attaches to the sacrum or to the pelvic bone, which is roughly the same height, the SI joint, that, my friends, is something that needs to be addressed, right? That is a joint, but we don't want it to receive the force here. Remember, we're talking about expanding the spine. When I said backward stretching, when we were talking about that posture from Bikram's lineage, that's specifically what I'm talking about, right? We don't want to go, because some of you probably have that flexibility and ability, or with sitting at a desk all day long, notice how square it is from your glutes up through your spine, and then you hunch here. that same thing is going to be able to happen because of the way the muscles are arranged around your hip region and pelvic region and lower back because of sitting frequently or for long periods of time. I know there's a lot, and I want you guys to really get what you need. So hopefully you've picked up on a particular modification that works for you. So we just talked about this one. Don't let the lower back take the force here. You want to reach up through those elbows. You want to be reaching up through those fingertips and the rib cage. The pressure should never happen here because you should be stretching up and reaching rather than folding back, all right? And then that other modification we talked about is the hands to the pelvic bone, elbows back, chest is open. And then I'm stretching up through the crown of my head, maybe even through my third eye towards the ceiling. And you should slowly see expansion in my body as I relax and find the nooks and crannies. I'm using my lung capacity to help create more structure to lengthen. So, that being said, my friends, I want you to explore all three of these and see what feels good in your body, right? And if you really are restricted in your shoulders, you could actually have your hands in prayer and just go like this, right? So there's so many different ways. So find what works for you out of those four that I've just shown you. And what I want you to do is transition between Tadasana and that particular posture. And I want you to stay into it for at least 5 breaths. So if I was doing the hands here, I would inhale, bring the hands together, exhale, hold, and then inhale, stretch up and go up. Okay, 5 breaths in and out here, trying to expand each time more. Same thing with this guy. So I inhale, my arms up, exhale, hold, and then inhale, keep stretching and reaching. And then you'll bring it back down, come to your Tadasana, and hang out there. You will be shocked at how good of a workout you can get just from this. I don't know if you can see, I'm really sweaty just from doing and talking about what I have done thus far. So what I would like for you to do is to practice doing this posture. And I don't want you to do it just 1 time, 2 times and say, oh, I got it. I want you to really try it, all right? Set a timer, right? And I want you to transition between the two at minimum 10 times, if not setting your timer for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, to continue doing it without stopping until the timer goes off, right? And if you have an attention span or you are time constrained today, 5 minutes, right? These are foundational postures. And let's talk about the fact that most people are hunched over most of the time, especially with their technology. This particular posture can really help reverse that because we're actually creating more strength on the front side of our body instead of more strength. Well, actually not more strength. Okay, so I said that wrong. So please let me correct myself, and I'm not gonna redo this video. So this is overactivated, which makes this underactivated. So what we're trying to do is reverse the position, strengthen the muscles, and then lengthen the muscles, and then effectively stretching these ones back out. So without getting into too much detail, there's activating a muscle, squeezing and contracting it, and then there's stretching a muscle and lengthening a muscle, and then there's a deactivated muscle, which is another thing. So we're basically trying to reverse technology neck. We're also trying to reverse our tendencies through stress to be in particular locked up positions. And honestly, with the sun salutations, we're inviting in all that yummy goodness that solar energy brings into the planet. It brings sweetness, it brings all of the functions and energetics that fuel life as we know it here on the planet. And it has been for millennia and probably millions of years outside of that. So, my friends, Urdhva Hastasana, beautiful practice, beautiful posture that is a practice in and of itself to spend time just in exaltation, reverie, love, appreciation. So my want and desire for you is to find that beauty inside yourself, inside this posture, and take the time to do it. Please. It's not just a challenge, and it's not just for the course, it's for you to get to know yourself better. And why wouldn't you want to do that? Why do you come to yoga? For exercise? What is exercise? What does exercise do for you? What does yoga do for you? And again, why do you keep coming back? And for those of you who are just getting here and you're trying it out, this is the fun. This is the exploration. This is where you get to know yourself. This is where you get to discover what it is it's doing for you through feelings, through experiences, through energetics. All right, friends.